we get to the channeling, I need to make a quick announcement. For those of you who would like to post this video on your own personal channel, you need to ask permission first. I am the steward of this content and of this energy, and it is very important that I am aware about where it is posted and when, so we need to have a conversation before I give you permission to post this video. I appreciate your heart and your desire to share the message, and you also need to take into consideration my personal energy and the boundaries that are needed when posting this type of content. So please contact me at creationtemple.com/contact, or if you're on my newsletter list, you can simply reply to one of the newsletters and reach me that way. Thank you for this consideration. I do appreciate it.
Well, welcome everyone to this impromptu episode of Channeling with Prime Creator. I wanted to do this episode because obviously here in the US, we've just had the elections and things are not clear on the surface. And, you know, this is no surprise to me. But because of the kind of warning message that Prime Creator gave last time, I just want to give you all an update. Personally, I feel a great peace with what's happening, with whatever's going to happen. I totally trust that we are on a timeline that is for the highest good, and I just feel a deep peace about that. So I wanted to present that first, and hopefully you can get those energies and codes of peace as well. And then I have a question for Prime Creator about maybe there being a third possible option. You know, in a typical election, we have a bipartisan election with Democrats and Republicans, and, you know, one or the other becomes president. And I'm wondering now if we're at a time where perhaps we're seeing the end of that. I don't know, but this has been a strange year. So I wanted to see if Prime Creator could give us information about that. So that's what we're going to ask about today. Dear ones, we are not quite yet at this time where there will be no political parties or no bipartisan elections. We are still on a timeline where you will have a president. However, I will say that it will look quite different than you are used to. Yes, we are still on track for Trump to lead the country of the United States, but there will be help and assistance that is disclosed that has not yet been seen quite in this way. What I am meaning by this, dear ones, is that there have been many leaders that have been functioning in the background, some on this planet, some off this planet. These leaders will now have more of a spotlight. Now, this will not happen right away, dear ones. This is not something you will see within the next couple of months even, perhaps, depending on how things unfold. But remember how we have spoken many times about how there are things happening behind the scenes, how there are positive things as well as negative things that have been happening behind the scenes. Some of these more positive things will now come to the surface and expose the shadow forces that have been at work behind the scenes. Specifically in reference to the shadow politics, I will call it. Those politicians who have been in these positions for monetary gain, for personal fame, for nefarious reasons that are not truly in service to your country of the United States. These people will begin to be exposed, arrested, and prosecuted for their crimes. This, dear ones, is what you have been waiting for. This is the disclosure you have been waiting for. This is the balancing of the scales that you have been waiting for. You will see much more of this activity happening publicly within the next year. Some of these arrests and such have been made, but mostly behind the scenes. Now you will begin to see things come more into the public eye.
There was an electoral fraud, I think, or what kind of people are involved in that electoral fraud? Is it people in politics? Is it Biden? Is it people at court? How can I understand this kind of fraud?
This question about electoral fraud, please understand this is one of many ploys used by the shadow forces in politics. It is not new. It has happened before. It is showing up in politics, but its roots are stemming from forces that are not on this planet. They are using humans on this planet to carry out their will. But it is not even something that originated within the human psyche. It is something that has been imposed into the human psyche and into the plan that humans could execute. It is, so that you understand, dear ones, it is a battle of sorts for control of planet Earth. It is an attempt to gain control of the humans, of the wealth of planet Earth. It is an attempt to gain control of the heart of planet Earth herself. Because humans are so easily manipulated in some ways. These off-planet beings have been able to infiltrate their own psyche into the psyche of human beings to do their will, to do their bidding. Mostly working through the Democratic Party, but dear ones, please understand, it has happened on both sides. Again, this is not a partisan issue, but what you are seeing now is an expression of the shadow through the Democratic Party. But they have used Republicans as well. The main point to understand here, dear ones, is that in this power struggle for planet Earth, the minds of human beings, the hearts and emotions of human beings have been able to be manipulated. Now, what you will begin to see happening as the veil is lifted and human beings are shown what has been happening on a larger scale, and some of you already understand this, but for those of you who are new to this, please understand that it will feel very confusing because you have believed certain things for so long. You have been taught certain things in your schools for so long. You have been heavily programmed. Your minds have been intercepted to be used for something else. So, dear ones, what you must understand and what I invite you to do is that you must reclaim your energy, as this channel has spoken about many times. You must learn to be with your essence and energy. You must reclaim your minds. You must reclaim your emotions, meaning that what you feel is truly coming from you, not from something that is projected onto you. This is a very deep and rich subject, and we will not go into it fully today as this channel has many resources on this. But it is important to understand that this is your work now, to reclaim your energy, your emotional bodies, your minds, and to set the intentions to align all of these things to true source. And in doing this, you can then become very clear about who you are, about why you are on this planet, about what you are here to do, who you are here to be, and how to navigate. Because if you are lost in the matrix, you will have a very difficult time navigating. Because again, it will feel confusing if you allow yourself to get caught up in the drama. And that is all this is, dear ones. It is drama. And it is your choice as humans if you will allow planet Earth to be controlled by the dark forces, or if you will reclaim her for the light. It is your choice as humans. No one can make this choice but you, and that is why you as human beings are here on planet Earth now, so that you can do this reclamation to take planet Earth back for the light. She needs you, dear ones. Planet Earth needs you to make this choice.
I want to know how fast is it possible that the truth come out and President Trump is getting again president? How fast is this possible?
Dear one, the first layer of truth will occur in several months, and this will allow the president to keep his position. But the deeper layers of truth, such as what I have just spoken about, may take up to several years. Partly because humans will need some time to adjust to the information so that they do not go crazy, I will say, because the information will be causing cognitive dissonance. It will be very confusing for many. And so they will need time to adapt and adjust. And so layers of truth will be revealed as humanity is ready. But humanity is ready to see some truth about the election fraud. Maybe not in the depth that I have shared here, but that in fact there has been fraud, and that the Democrats in this election have been responsible for much of this fraud.
How many votes have been cheated on Democratic side? I mean, how big is the fraud? How many votes were being manipulated?
Almost 1 million votes, dear one.
Maybe in the swing states, I think, or mostly the swing states.
Yes, primarily, but also in those states which the Electoral College has more votes to influence.
I don't really understand how people off planet are manipulating or the people. This is a bit complicated for me to understand, and how this is organized, the fraud. Can this be explained a bit more?
Yes, dear one, I will explain a bit more. They use primarily your technology, your televisions, your social media, your phones, your computers. They program humans through messaging, repeated messaging, telling you over and over certain things. For example, this channel saw a video where they were showing clips of past presidential candidates stating, "This is the most important election of your lifetime." And many candidates for presidency, for Senate, etc., were making this statement. And so they were programming the people through the voice of these candidates. And so it is very similar to this. They will use your technologies to give you these messages. Now, there are messengers that they use. Some of these messengers are unaware that they are being used. And some of these messengers have contracts with these off-planet beings to have their voice be used to perpetuate the messages.
Interesting. And are people of this being known in the public? Are there examples of people who have a contract with people abroad?
Give me a moment with this channel, please. The human Kamala Harris knows she is being used for her voice. The human Joe Biden knows, but not to the same degree. The human being Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, these beings understand to varying degrees. Some understand more deeply than others. Some have literally exchanged their soul in order to be messengers and gain power, money, and fame. There are also many beings in Hollywood that have agreed to these contracts as well. We will not go too deeply into this, dear one, as it is very energetically difficult for this channel to bring through this information.
Okay, and what is the reason for the people to make these contracts? Is it money? Is it fame? Or what are they wanting? Why are they doing this?
Yes, they are being promised eternal life. They are being promised power, control, money, fame. Not necessarily all of these things for each being. For example, some are not interested in fame, but some are. And so these off-planet beings know what the humans are desiring. And so they play to those desires or potential weaknesses to manipulate them, to promise them that they will have certain things. Some of them are promised control of planet Earth herself in collaboration with these off-planet beings. And so there's a strong motivation for those who wish to live forever, for those who wish to be immortal, to make these types of contracts.
Through what sources, through what kind of groups are they getting these kinds of contacts? Is it how are they being chosen to get these kind of contacts? What is the way? How can I understand how they are being chosen?
There are certain humans that are born that are oriented to a large mission. And these humans have within them a hunger, a desire to be chosen, to be seen, to be heard, to gain wealth, to be famous. These types of desires. These off-planet beings are an observation always of the souls that incarnate on human earth. And some of these contracts are made before a human incarnation. And so these off-planet beings are keeping track of these desires of certain souls at a certain place on their soul path and journey. And they are approaching these beings with offers. Offers for fame, offers for money, offers for power and control. It is very similar to those who are serving the light, those who have come here with substantial missions, and they connect with the light, they connect with higher frequencies, and they agree to be messengers for the light. It is very much the same, except the choice to serve the dark is very opposite and does not serve humanity in a positive way. We will conclude the conversation at this time. And dear ones, I will strongly urge and invite you once again to make it your practice, make it your priority to learn how to heal yourself, to learn how to connect with your own essence and energy, to step away from the noise of social media, your mainstream media, even alternative news outlets. To step away from all of this, to go inward into your hearts, into your emotions, into your mind, into your spirit, to connect with yourself, to connect with true source. Because this is what will guide you moving forward. This is what will bring you clarity and peace, dear ones. This is an invitation to be very disciplined, dear ones. This is needed now more than ever. We have spoken many times before about the importance of doing your inner work, of healing yourself. Those who have achieved a substantial amount of self-healing are now in a very good position to be co-creators powerfully of the new earth. And I am issuing an invitation for each of you to step up to these ranks, so to speak, so that you can create the new earth with joy, with peace, with a true heart for serving all beings on planet Earth, for serving all life everywhere. I thank you, dear ones. I thank you. Wow. Well, thank you everyone for joining me in this video. That was actually not quite what I expected, but always good to drop the expectations because I never know what Prime Creator is going to say. So I will second also the invitation to step forth into your empowerment and to be with your energy and essence. And for those of you who aren't aware, I have a 4-year library of content in the Creation Temple where you will learn how to do exactly that. You will learn how to be with your essence and energy. You'll learn how to get clear and centered and grounded These are all qualities we need right now. So at the very least, join the Creation Temple as a sacred creator, and you will get all of that content to help you on your spiritual path. Much love, everyone.